Hello everyone, this is Mr. Darius again, and today's business spiel is about the factors that influence the production method that we are going to choose. Now, as a business consultant, I've seen during the past years that there are a bunch of factors that we should take in consideration before we actually decide how are we going to produce our product. How are we going to make it, and how not only we're going to make it, we're going to get it on our client's table. Who's that client? How much will it cost us to get there? Do we have the necessary capital to transform our dreams in reality? And last but not least, do we have people around us which are capable, skilled, and experienced to help us take our dream to the next level? So, by the way, what I'm about to show you as factors is not necessarily a hierarchy, but is more like they're all important, they're all equally important, and they all have a relationship of interdependency between each other. So one of them influences the other, and so on and so forth, until eventually all five of them will have an impact on your business, okay? So let's start with the first one. So number one would be effective demand. Now, there's a huge difference between demand itself and effective demand, because demand itself will mean that there is someone willing, that has willingness to purchase your product. So he's just willing, he just wants your product. But these are the kind of clients you should be careful and not, start your production process or build your business around there, because they just have the willingness to buy your product. When it comes to effective demand, and this is the huge difference between effective demand and demand in general, besides willingness, they also have the ability. So better said, they have the financial ability to pay for your product, and they're gonna buy it. And not only that they're gonna buy it right now, they'll be able to afford it regardless of, let's say, how prices will change in the following quarters. So in quarter one, it could be 4.9 euros. In quarter two, it could be 5.1 euros. In quarter three, it could be 5.2 euros. So it's getting more and more expensive, your product, little by little, but still those clients that have the willingness to buy it have also the ability to buy that product, okay? Now, the more effective demand you have, and this is the beauty of it for your product, the more you will want to produce. Okay? So the more you will want to produce as a result of the effective demand that you actually have. And this is not randomly. This is because there are more and more people willing and able to buy your product. Okay? Number two would be the nature of the product. There is no doubt that there is a huge difference between producing, let's say, a suit, a loaf of bread, and a chocolate bar. Okay, they all have different time before they go out of date. They all require a different timing before they're actually manufacturing. They might require different resources, such as labor or machinery or a bigger factory. And they take a different time from the moment that you actually produce them to the moment that they're actually delivered to the client. So if the nature of your product would be a suit, then maybe you would go for job production. If the nature of your product is a loaf of bread, you would most definitely go for a batch production. And if the nature of your product is a chocolate and you want to get it out there to the masses and you want to make sure that more and more people actually enjoy your product, you're going to be tempted to go for the mass production. Okay? But here we got to be very, very careful. Just because we decided that chocolate bars is something for the masses, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go from the beginning with mass production. In fact, what we're going to discuss in number 3 is the available capital will let us know if we can afford to take our chocolate bar to the masses through mass production, which means investment in technology, which means investment in machinery. So capital, the amount of capital you have available for your business is what's going to back up your dreams and make it come reality, okay? So if you do not have the necessary capital to actually start your chocolate bar business as a mass production, as I've said, it requires a lot of investment in technology and machinery and other premises in general, okay? Maybe you want to go with handmade and with special ingredients and turn a product that initially was suitable to be produced in masses in a more tailored way or in a batched way to be produced. So be very careful with the capital you have on hand, okay? So just because you have a product that you want to take to the masses, that doesn't mean you want to invest directly from the beginning in those masses, because you might not have at the moment the effective demand for it to serve at a mass level, okay? So capital is really important. Make sure you have the available capital, or you find the available capital. There are several sources of finance, as you already know from our previous videos. Make sure you have the amount of capital that is actually needed for you to take your production method to the next level, okay? Now, the next one would be size. Size of the business. Okay, and by size of the business, I'm not talking about your business in general. I'm talking over here about what makes the business, and that is the market. Okay, now the dynamics change completely if you ignore the size of the market you're trying to address. And here you have to be very careful. Is it gonna be blue ocean? Or is it gonna be a red ocean where you're heading towards with your business and with your product? And I'm gonna explain what this means. Blue ocean is like the sky. There are not many fish over there. There are not many sharks. There are not many competitors over there. So you can make mistakes, so you can grow organically and just find out that you have a monopoly over there. You can exploit that market, okay? You can explore it and you can grow it and you can become the #1 player over there just because it's a blue ocean, then there are not many fish over there. But on the other side, if the size of the market is big, but it's a red ocean, that means a lot of sharks eating each other, a lot of blood in the water, then you have to be very careful to this aspect. Another thing you have to take in consideration is your product going to address a need. Such as, let's say, for example, a thirst or hunger. Okay? And last but not least, is your product aimed for the masses or for a niche? Because if it's for a niche and you completely ignore the potential of the market, then you might be missing out some amazing business opportunities. If it's for the masses, for example, and it's a red ocean, and you're coming with a product that doesn't have anything different from what your competitors offer, they're gonna rip you apart, they're gonna take your business away, so you will not survive in that market. By the way, if your product answers to a certain need, such as thirst or hunger, it could be a higher chance for you to get it out there on every client's dinner table or every client's fridge. Just think of Coca-Cola. But then again, if you don't have the necessary capital, although you understood the nature of your product, although there's effective demand, but you ignore the size of the business and the profile of the business you're getting into, you're not gonna end up very well, although you're choosing the most suitable production method that is out there, okay? And number 5 would be labor. Okay, and this is something really, really funny. I'm going to explain the concept. So if you're focusing, for example, in making high quality suits for, I don't know, platinum clients, let's put it this way, but you don't have the necessary skilled and experienced labor that is required in such a such a production method, you're not going to be able to grow that business, okay? And out of all these factors that I've pointed out today, I think one of the most problematic that we're actually facing nowadays is the labor factor, okay? And it has very much to do with the fact that the government maybe decided to drop investments in vocational schools, with the fact that people want to be white collars, not blue collars. They want to sit at the offices. They don't want to go out there and weld and sit in humidity. And just because of that, it makes them a very, very scarce resource, okay? So not only that they're hard to find, when you're going to find that labor, it's going to be very expensive, not only to be paid, but to be kept around you. Now, this being said, these are the factors that I believe as a business consultant should be taken in consideration very seriously before actually deciding what production method you should adopt for taking your product from raw material to the client's table, okay? And not only that they're interdependent and one of them influences each other, whether we're talking about demand, about nature of our product, about capital, about the size of the market, or labor in general, they all impact with the force of compound interest your business. Okay? So these being said, make sure you analyze them very carefully, because you might get only one chance to start your business, and if you don't start well, it's not going to end up very well for you. Thank you very much for watching this video.